I'm going to start now. But what would you say, like, when you start beginning new things, like, say when you started in Power and you first heard about it, like, did you feel a bit of terror of learning all these new things, or did you just jump right in?
I just jumped right in. Mm-hmm. I was kind of watching leaders of what they were offering and see which one to join with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who did you end up joining with?
Lawrence. Which is a wise decision, because I was debating between him or Chris Darty. And Lawrence has been around, and has a much stronger team now, more stable.
Yeah, he's not leaving the company at all. He's great.
Right. So, yeah, I needed that strong rock leader, finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because you needed someone that would, no matter what, like, support you and love you through it all, rather than change on you. Mm-hmm. So there's something about changing that I'm picking up. So how often have you changed, like, teachers, or like in your older life? Do you always just literally find like one person?
I don't change very much. So maybe that's why a change is so drastic for me.
Yes.
Because like I said, I've been with Empower since it started. I've only had 2 teachers growing up. And when I get transfer students, they've had like 6 teachers before me. I'm like, you've had 6 teachers? I'm like, I don't think I've ever had 6 piano teachers.
Right.
Like, I had 2 growing up and probably 2 in college.
Right.
So yeah. It's a level I don't understand sometimes. Yeah.
So that's what we're getting at, is this level of adaptability to new circumstances freaks you out. So that's where this belief of terror comes through, because I was trying to figure out where this is coming from and how it's happening. But this is the root of where it began. And that's probably why you don't change a lot of people. And I mean, it's good in one point and not so good on another, right? It's like you end up clinging on and attempting to do what it is you can do with this people, but sometimes there might be something better, right? I'm not saying
and like the same thing with boyfriends. Like, I had one boyfriend in all of high school. Like, that's not normal.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, because now it's not just a program, it's a belief that's been ingrained. So we want to look at that in a way of, like, being mindful that that's a tendency that you have, where you'll stick to one person, and because you don't want it to fail, because you don't want it to change, and because you feel terrified if they're removed or things happen. That's why you may have stayed with your ex for so long. So with that, so instead of like the belief of terror, it's more of let me look up a good word for terror real quick. The opposite. So it's more of understanding that you're protected, especially with, Jesus's hand on you and being guided. So you don't have to necessarily cling on to one aspect of something and ride the wave with this person. Obviously you chose well with Lawrence. Obviously, you didn't choose well with your ex. There's different things. So being so super mindful of your decisions rather than putting all your eggs in one basket with people is basically the information I'm getting here. Because when you focus on your fear of failure and the terror of changing things, that then overruns your judgment of what you could be choosing in the moment, like what is more right.
Yeah. It was interesting last night because we had to choose our teams. And I was like, we have to choose our teams. And we had this big spreadsheet. Now, personally, I know a lot of people on this list, right?
Right.
And I'm connected with, people all over the world. But I really literally picked people in my time zone And there was only like 6 in Central Time Zone, and I really didn't know them very well. And I was like, this is probably a good thing that I'm choosing random people, again. So it's like a fresh start on a new relationship either way. Because some people were like, you called me and I got in the boot camp. I really like to be on your team. I was like, well, you're in Pacific time. I'm in Central. And I'm just going to be honest, I'm picking people in my time zone. So thankfully I got most everybody in Tennessee and Texas, to be in my team. And then we added another one. I think he's in Pacific, but it don't matter. So
awesome.
That was like good that I didn't know people. I was like, this is a good thing.
Yeah, and this
It'll be a new start for me.
Yeah, this is that piece of not feeling like you're going to fail. This is a place where you can feel protected and that you've chosen correctly rather than allowing the fear to overrun you. So, and I'll just check on that. The positive percentage of the people she's picked is 100%. So whether they become, big forces of sales or whatever it is, you've picked them for a reason, to show you what kind of leader you can be, and also to be able to work with their energies, to be adaptable in a sense of understanding them and their needs, so that you can help them move and evolve into a change. So this is just an underlying effect that is just affecting you, probably because you just picked some people. So that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and clear any blocks to this. And I love this because then because I was trying to figure out like, where is this coming from? But it makes sense now that you had just picked people. Part of you inside probably feels a little bit terrified, like, who did I pick and why? Because I don't know them.
Yeah.
But by knowing what you needed, which is I needed everyone in Central Standard Time, that gave you more of the power, because you picked based on what your needs are. Okay. So what percent was blocking her? So only 10%. So that's good. So you've overcome a lot of not being able to adapt. And it's probably because of all the things that you have gone through and that you're now rising to your power. So that's good.
Okay. Feels good.
Awesome. So there isn't any other things like inhibiting you right now. There's nothing that's like affecting all areas of your life. Is there anything you want me to work on with like what your lawyer is drafting up, or anything else aside from what we've talked about so far?
There's one thing, but I've been trying to avoid with Haley around.
Yeah.
She looks at me. Because you want to go get chocolate cake. Because of what happened. Say hi, Candace.
Hi.
Found out this last week that he's engaged. And I only found out from a picture. So I showed her the proof so I could figure out why she didn't tell me.
Right.
So get in line. So it makes her uncomfortable for me sharing that, because we just talked about it. I haven't told anybody.
I don't like that type of stuff, obviously.
I know.
It's not an easy stuff.
It's hard to talk about your dad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on.
Yeah. Would you say it's like, is it troubling her or is it troubling you?
Yeah. She doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah. Doesn't know her feelings about it.
Yeah. What I'm getting is it's a lot of betrayal she's experiencing.
Oh yeah.
Because for her, she's the only girl right now, for him. And with another woman in the picture, basically, she thought that she'd be the only one, but she's not anymore. And so all that energy that she probably was able to receive from dad is no longer going to be directed her at that way because another person's in the picture.
There's a lot to it. Yeah. So you can see like, ugh.
And that's tough because, you know, I know this wounding very well. What happens is first they kind of turn on you because of the divorce in the first place. You know, especially with girls, you know, they love their daddies no matter what, and that's their first love. And so in many ways they turn on you first because that's like an act of betrayal that you are no longer with daddy, and they don't understand why the split up happens. So then they kind of leech onto daddy, not knowing the real circumstances. But what happens is now when he finds another person, then she feels betrayed by him. And so now she kind of develops more of a closed heart. And she'll act out a little bit more because, you know, she's hurt, she's sad. And you can even say that too, you know, sweetie, it's okay if you're sad and you're angry. You know, you can be sad and angry around me. And I don't know if you've said things like that to her. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying I need to repeat that. And you're right.
Yeah. Because, and that's the thing is, and you can even say, even if you don't like me right now, it's okay. If you don't like your dad right now, it's okay. If you don't like her, it's okay. You have a right to your feelings, whatever you're feeling, even if you can't describe them. So it just, that way it reiterates that she is seen, acknowledged, and understood, because that then will reopen their heart up, because she's not being ignored and pushed to the side, which then creates that betrayal even further. What you're doing is giving her the love that she needs because she's so hurt right now.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys ate fast.
Oh, she's eating chocolate cake.
Oh, oh, I see. Oh, yum.
Yum.
Oh.
As we're making sure we get. Yeah, so we're still eating. So yeah, that's what I need to hear and repeat and talk to her more and
even
going through a lot of that.
You can even say, you know, I know you don't want to talk about it right now, but know that if you ever feel the need to talk to me about it, I'm right here for you, and I understand, and I know you love your daddy, and I know you love me, and this can be very confusing. Just so that she knows that despite like whatever's churning in her head right now, because this is a moment where she's probably like, I hate you, you know? It's just what comes up when someone betrays like that. So, and she'll want to run, she'll want to hide. So it's just like, you know, if you want to run and hide right now, it's okay, but I'm here for you.
Yeah. And it's that another change, you know, that we don't change, right? We haven't changed much. And this is a new change.
Yeah.
That, and she's known for a while and hadn't had a chance to tell me, or doesn't think it's that important, but it is.
Right.
A lot of those things, you know, it's hard.
Oh yeah, it is. And especially with her. So I'm just going to see if I can clear out something that might be going on for her. Chart 10. Oh yeah, so she's already created a heart vow around this situation about outside relation. Okay, so she's created a heart vow around not listening. So that means like, because she's so hurt, I'm not going to listen to anything that, I don't know, is it mom or dad, whatever dad has to say, because she's right now in that really angry point of view.
Oh yeah.
So
that's where I brought her. We took her to a counselor, and she said she's going to work more on those emotions and stuff too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want this fixed, but then, totally.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a lifelong issue, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because for a long time she's had him to herself.
Yeah.
So with someone else in the picture, and I think it'll take time, but also you can remind her when she's ready that this is just another person that you can receive love from too. Something like that. Or if she's like, no, I hate her, just say, okay, we can both hate her right now, let's do it. So that it's more of like mirroring her emotions. Let me just check the person. Yeah. So when you mirror it, then she feels acknowledged and accepted for how she's feeling. Whereas if you try to make like positive out of the situation, I think it'll piss her off even more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's something like my husband and I do. It's like, I had a friend over and she really made me mad. And instead of like pretending, oh, that's just the way she is, which, it is just the way she is, I just talked badly about this person for a little bit, not to, gossip or anything. It was just to get that energy out. So she might need to just have this safe place to say, I hate him, I hate her, I hate, or whatever. So that, and you go, I hear you, I understand you. Yeah, it's okay to hate someone, especially when you feel this angry. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
this mirroring, because then a lot of people don't allow that. And then the kids feel like no one's on their side.
Okay. Yeah.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just clear the heart vow. Can I clear it on all levels? Because it didn't really take root right now. It's only at 30%. I mean, we're going to clear it to help her just kind of allow her heart to continue to be open to the situation. But it's a volatile one. Anything can trigger that one.
Right.
Cleared, accurate, complete. Yeah, whatever you can do. I know what you feel, sweetie, and I love you regardless of how you feel.
Right.
Okay. Anything else with Paley? No. So that's the only thing with her. Is she's really going to need a lot of your mirroring and accepting her no matter what she's going through right now.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't really talk to him, so that's a tough one, because then you can't do that, like work on this together. So he's just going to do what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he's healed enough that he doesn't repeat what he's done to you.
And the pictures, so what my friend sent me, she's like, he looks really sick, like really like old sick. I'm like, well, he is sick. But yeah, his pictures look bad.
Right.
But
yeah. Well, we'll just pray that, he doesn't cause damage to her like he had done to you, and that hopefully he's changed and shifted or something so that kind of energy doesn't go on. Because, I mean, from what you're saying and you had experienced, no one deserves any of that treatment. Hopefully she'll be strong enough to soften him and, be more friends with you and in a way of communicating with you better for Paley. So I just want to put that.
Yeah, I already blocked her from Facebook a long time ago. So
yeah. Well,
there's nothing there.
I just want to put that energy there to, like, help her to be like the kind, compassionate one in the relationship, to soften his heart. You know what I mean? We're praying. Mm-hmm. We're praying. Okay. So nothing else with Paley. There's something for you. Let's see. What does it have to go around? 21.
Haley, you wipe your mouth, please?
So this has to do with allowing your soul to soar. So what do you feel is still keeping you from being where you feel like you want to be?
Figuring out. You're funny, Bailey. I guess, just winning this case, the appeal case, because it's been so long, and just wanted to move on from that.
Right.
I feel like that holds me up, or
yeah, and you still have 90 days of that, right? Or even longer.
Still have half a year. I feel like, in a way.
Yeah, it's totally holding you hostage. That sucks. So let's see, is there something we can clear around this court case?
What are you doing?
10. Okay.
I like it, Candace.
So what we're looking at is some like conscious and subconscious memory. So what that means is, yes, it's taken a long time, and that the process is taking forever. So the shift is that this is a completely brand new blank canvas aspect. You're creating a new, statement. Everyone's revising it all, and we're just going to wipe the slate clean. How you feel about it, what it's done to you, how long it's taken, just put it out the door, and allow yourself to just envision the judges reviewing it, signing it, and it that paper shuffling to be quick and expedient, so that you can start to move on with your life. And you're going to see, you're going to picture his lawyer and your lawyer
Get down.
shaking hands because there's been an agreement. And that
Right.
when you can tap into that vision, and just allow yourself to sit with that and meditate on it, just I would do what I've done in a class. This is a really great meditation, is allow the situation to come up as it is, the length, the frustration, everything that's happening with what you already know, and allow it to just bubble up in a picture. And then what you do is you darken it, it's like the lights fade to black. And then you take another picture and you put beautiful bright lights around it. And then now you play the picture I just talked about, where the judges are signing it, they're expedient about it, they're handing it off. The two lawyers are meeting, they're handing off the papers, and they're shaking hands, and it's all done. When you can put that in your mind and feel the feelings of relief and oh, thank God, then that, believe it or not, actually happens. It's so amazing. So let me give you a way to get into this meditation. So you just go through the colors of the rainbow. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then indigo. And then from indigo, that's where you envision what's really happening, and then you darken it, and then you see the bright, shiny picture. The show lights. Put big show lights around it, you're in a dressing room, and those lights are there, you're getting ready. And then place the new picture in there, and feel into that, that relief. And then you leave the meditation by going through the colors backwards. So indigo, purple, blue, green, orange, or yellow, orange, red. And then you open your eyes. And I kid you not, every time I have done that, there has been some pretty magical things happening. And I don't know when it's going to happen, things like that, but it happens. So I just want you to allow yourself to envision that and feel into that, because it can happen quick.
That's neat. I'll try that.
Yeah. I did that with my husband when we were having a fight once, and I saw us like pissed off at each other, backs to each other. And I envisioned us like hugging and holding each other and being happy. And so the fight didn't last that long. It actually shifted right away, and we were actually doing that. And I was like, holy moly, it happened really quick. But another time I had gone to this seminar, and I really wanted my brother to go. And I envisioned the picture. I saw him going, but he didn't do it till like 3 years later. And but yet that picture did happen.
Do you have
A penny. For what? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what she needs.
Oh, that's okay.
She's gonna find it anyways.
Okay. But so just allow yourself to do that. You don't have to do it a lot of times. It's literally just one time to really be heartfelt in it, and it begins to shift. And I think that would really help you, because then it's a connection to yourself, to spirit, and to the vision of what you desire. Okay? Because it might not take that long. You never know. But if you surrender it to God in that way and allowing the new picture to pop up, it could happen a lot sooner. You can even do this for a lot of other things too.
Yeah. May was trying to tell me too, you're like, what's your dream day? I was like, well, I've got to really focus to like get out of this case and move. And so I want to dream my dream day that I am in Houston, that I have my piano there, and I have my piano students that I've been dreaming about having.
Yay.
Like I have to visualize this, because I can't see past that. Like, I'll see, maybe a beach house in the summer, or stuff like that. But it doesn't seem as real as me being in Houston,
Yes. And that's exactly it. And you can even do that, in this meditation is yourself, the feelings you're feeling of being in Tennessee, still there, driving through that traffic or whatever. And then you darken the screen, and then you go into, driving happily down the street in Houston and going to see one of your friends and having the support of, new students and blah, blah, blah. And then you leave the meditation. It happens so much quicker. And I don't even know why I don't use it very often, but it's so good. Even for your teen, you can even visualize that. So, just don't do it all at once. Do it like one a day, and do different visions like that. And you'd be amazed at like when it happens, but just let it go, envision it and let it go.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Very cool.
So
are you guys finished? Ready?
Yeah, we're going to hit the road again.
Awesome. Well, we have about 20 minutes if there's anything else you want to go to, or we can just, call it quits here and then move on, do another appointment.
I can still talk to you in the car if you don't mind that.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of what else there is. So I'm still here. Haley's going to be patient.
Okay. Well, let's see.
As long as we're moving.
Yeah. Let's go. So that'll help you. That's the thing we were talking about, allowing yourself to soar and move is now, not so much focusing on what's really happening, because that can always change. It's to focus on your dream day, visualizing the things that you wish to happen. Okay. So let's see. Yes. Is there another issue that we can work on? Where is it? You're showing me 9B. Okay. Health and well-being. Okay. So now that you just ate pizza,
Yes.
So the funny thing is it's all about your health and well-being and your diet, right?
No. So, no, this is like a splurging. We've had some splurging because I mostly eat like salad and, I'm trying to focus on healthy stuff when we go to the store and everything.
That's
But
good.
we just splurged this week.
Another aspect of diet, though, is like, how often are you eating? Like, are you breakfast, lunch, dinner, or are you skipping out on meals?
Yeah, I'm breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of person.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
I don't skip on meals or anything.
That's good.
Sometimes.
The
Oh,
truth
I skip
comes
meals.
out. That's funny.
When do we skip? We skip lunch. Oh, Pamela doesn't really eat much lunch. So I pick some stuff for her. I mean, we go to the store and try to find some stuff, but whenever I visit and stuff, she doesn't eat much, but that's just her.
Do you take any supplements like vitamins?
Yeah, just the basic prenatal calcium and iron.
Oh, prenatal? Are you attempting to get pregnant?
No, it kind of helps like my hair not like fall out. So it's
Oh,
just
interesting.
So whenever I don't take it, I'm like, oh, my hair's falling out. That's probably what I need to take.
Yeah, that's true.
I used to take like ID Life, and whenever I start making some money where I can afford that again, kept me really balanced. When it asks you questions and has the right vitamins for me and stuff. So
Okay, cool.
I like that. But
and how about your water intake? How are you doing on that?
oh, that's all I drink, so I do good.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
good. Yay! And about how much and how often?
Like I don't know. I have a water glass by me all the time, so probably close to eight big glasses a day.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So let's see, what is it in the diet that is needing support? Let's see, 21. Okay, so it's interesting. I'm getting this aspect of this desire to suffer. So I'm curious, like, is there something you're doing with your diet where I don't know, for some reason you're suffering from something, but you don't know what, or like, I'm not
The only
sure.
thing I can think of suffering is because I don't have a big enough grocery budget to keep anything in the house right now. So that's why we had to stop, because I don't have any food to even fix.
Right.
And so that's where I'm suffering. Like, okay, we're just going to go get enough money for, tonight or tomorrow, be that salad or noodles or, something simple that doesn't cost a whole lot. So that's where I'm still kind of suffering, because I don't really have a budget to make anything really.
Mm-hmm. And since you're working with May, how have you been on paying yourself?
Oh, so we just started that, and I haven't really figured out how to pay myself yet. So this week was just to kind of chart it out and see how I can divide that up. Just make like little jars of what I need to do. And really, I don't have any jars, so I'll probably make like plastic bags or something.
Yeah, or envelopes. Envelopes work.
Yeah, envelopes or whatever I have around to figure out how I'm going to divide this.
Yeah, because
make my freedom account. Exactly,
because that's going to really set you apart. I don't know what book she's had you read yet, but she was doing The Richest Man of Babylon, which really helped me see, like, you can be someone that's really in debt or poor or whatever it is, but by saving a little bit each month, even if it's 10 cents, it's like you're honoring yourself. And what she shared with me this last meeting, she and I, was that when you pay yourself, you're also allowing people to want to pay you, because you're not putting yourself last, so they're not going to put you last in the who they pay mode. So the more that you give to yourself, and just at least like 25 cents, $1, whatever it is, at least giving yourself just that bit is already it's rising your soul. It's like you're giving to your soul rather than to the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that way you can attract more money and joy and whatever it is, because you're now creating your worthy account, basically your worthiness account of like
Right.
you loving on yourself. And it's not just money, it's more of like now you're giving yourself this money and you're paying yourself, and now you're also from that, like I would say food is definitely a huge aspect. So it's like to give yourself, paying yourself, and then, you know, paying this budget to food so that you can have a healthy, well-rounded diet, so that you have the supplements you need, because food is everything, you know, and it's very important because it nourishes us. So if you give it to food, a budget to food, then you're nourishing yourself.
Right.
You know, I've had to reprioritize a lot of things in my life also. Like my coach wants us to go to the Amalfi Coast in Italy in May, and I'm just like, no. You know, it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's like, okay, no, because, you know, right now I'm working on paying myself. I'm working on budgeting my expenses so that I can become financially free. It's not about going on these trips to learn more information. You know, it's about me like finally taking care of myself. And I think that's kind of the aspect that's teaching you right now. If you're not able to fill your cupboards with this yummy, gorgeous, healthy food, you know, you're in the suffering zone rather than in the I'm worthy, I love myself, I'm going to feed myself zone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not a punishment or anything, just so you know. It's just this aspect that puts yourself last.
Right.
And that's kind of where, that's funny. I just got a feather that floated by. So that means, you know, this is good luck for you. You know, it's like when you begin to allow yourself to take care of yourself in that way over everything else, just like how you care for Paley,
Right.
that much more is going to be attracted to you because you value yourself over everything else.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Yay. I love it. Make a wish. I'm going to let it go. Where'd it go? Okay. All right. Anything else on the diet? What percent is that accurate? Okay, can I go ahead and clear this? Please clear anything that's keeping her in suffering mode. So, the question I'm getting right now is how much can you put in a jar for yourself right now?
That's what I want to figure out, because I just got paid from, I get paid from piano students here at the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to evaluate how many students I have now from what's coming in, and make sure I'm, you know, because I'm still barely paying the bills, but seeing from that, decide how I'm going to divide everything up.
Right. So,
because I've never been able to do that before.
Okay, so what I'm getting is I would just focus on 2% right now. You know, even though it's, you know, very low, but 2% of, say you have, you know, your two students, say, what's that, $32, right? I'm just going to, just so that you know, to just pay yourself. It doesn't matter how much, how little it is. Say it's the $32.
Yeah, she forced me to put something in my savings account. I said, I do have a savings account. It has $2 in it. She's like, well, you need to put something else in it this week. I was like, okay.
So this is your number.
I think I had $10 I had $8. I think that's all I had, and I moved it over. I said, yay, I have $10 in my savings now.
Yeah, exactly. So the number I'm getting for you, especially, you know, just from the $32, 2% is 64 cents. You know, if you can do, you know, little things like that a week, that's like seeing yourself as worthy, and you'd be amazed at how quickly that grows.
Yeah.
Which then also, you know, if you do, I'm getting, let's see, for food, how much do we want to set aside for food? So, you know, food is like 4%. Okay. So, let's go again, $32 times 4% is $1.28. You know, like whatever you make, put 65 cents, let's round it up to 65 cents to your savings and $1.30 for food. And then the rest can like go wherever it needs to go towards your bills. But I'm just getting a strong energetic feeling that these two things are something that you need to focus on for yourself to increase your worthiness and increase your health.
Right.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Is there something else? Something else. Where is it? Chart 12. Okay. So this one is about a dysfunctional mind.
Okay. No surprise there.
So what has been coming up is the energy, like when we talk, you're, let me just make sure I'm on the right track. Okay, so when you speak with me, like when I ask you a question about something, you immediately go into, it's not really excuses, but a story. So instead of actually answering the question, just answering it, you actually go into the story, the excuses behind it. So you're very much living from the story rather than from what's possible right now.
Yeah.
So be mindful of that, because it's like when I said, you know, how much can you put in your account? And you're like, oh, I have to check in my account. I have to do this. I have to do that. And you actually, by doing that, you actually made it a lot tougher on yourself. If you would have just said, you know what, I can put $1 in right now. That actually is now your energy focused on what it is you want, rather than your energy prolonging the story of what it is that you have to do in order to get what you want. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So your this potential dysfunction is you're putting so much energy into the story rather than into, like, you know what, I can do this right now, or this is the answer, or this is what it is right now, rather than like explaining the whole background, the whole story, or what you haven't been able to do up until then.
Right.
Okay. And this one's huge. This is actually, you're not obviously the only one trapped by this. I do it too. And it's a way of protecting ourselves. It's a way of keeping us safe. It's a way of playing small. And it's a way of not taking ownership of what we can actually create.
Right.
So this dysfunction can really cause you a lot of trouble. And this one is affecting you at about 100%. So the next time, you know, someone asks you a question, like, observe yourself and see how much you go into a story, or even if you do, or do you actually just say, you know what, the answer is this. Like that simple, straightforward answer.
Okay.
Rather than the roundabout explaining, maybe making excuses or whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's a huge one that is, it's coming up because it wants you to start paying attention to when you do that, and how you can begin to stop giving that energy so that you can give the like the energy towards where you want to go, the potential of where you can go, rather than where you have gone already or what has happened.
Right.
So
I think I noticed that in some of the prospecting calls. Probably remember.
With you talking to them or them talking to you with their stories?
Probably both.
Okay, good. That's exactly where you can see it, because that's where people be like, well, I want to invest and I want to do this, but I have to do this first, and I want to do that next, and I want to do this, and I have to make sure that this happens, and this has happened to me, da 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 da. And then you're like, I don't hear your answer. You're showing the
and
information.
it's not very clear.
Yes. So that's why this is coming back at you, because when you're clear and you say, you know what, I can put just, obviously pause, take a moment. I can put in $1. That shows me your commitment to what you want, right?
Okay.
Rather than, well, I don't know, this is what I have to do. Da, da, da. That's unclear. You're beating around the bush, which is what people do. That's why I said you're not the only one. We all do this. So this is really good for me too. Like, where do I say stories like that? And how can I be more clear and in my power than allowing my beliefs and my story to take place?
Right.
Because you can even say, like, another answer is, that's something I'm not able to do right now. That's it. Short and sweet. That's an answer. And I'm like, oh, and then I respect that too, because it's an answer. Or I can put in $1. So yeah, just being mindful and aware of that. Okay, so can we clear any blocks to that at this moment? Please clear. Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to change your world. This is a good one. It's going to change mine now. Just so you know, this is really good. This is awesome. Like, oh crap, I do that.
Right.
Okay, cleared, accurate, complete. Okay, awesome. So I have just a few affirmations and releasings for you. And since you're driving, what I can do is go ahead and just Facebook message, or actually I'll email it to you with this recording. But the ones we're working on is the release of terror of change. I'll just terror of change, and the fear of failure, dysfunction of, I won't reword that. Let's say, I don't know how to say this. Let me think about it. Reliance on old stories. And what was the other one? Oh, the desire to suffer and feelings of unworthiness. Okay, so those are the releasing, and then the affirmation will be instead of terror of change, it's more of I am adaptable with change.
Right.
Instead of fear of failure, let me see a word for failure. I am accomplished, which you are, my dear. You are so talented. Instead of reliance on old stories, I am clear on what I want. And I would say, or I take a moment before answering. And then instead of desire to suffer, let's see. I desire, let me see the word for suffer. I desire to be renewed. I would say desire to live a renewed, or something like that. I desire to be renewed. And then instead of feelings of unworthiness, I am worthy. Okay?
Okay.
So those will be your affirmations and releasing, and I'll send it to the email probably later tonight or tomorrow. And that is it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a mop up, and I'll say a quick prayer. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this moment in time with Alicia and her daughter, Paley. Thank you for keeping her safe while she's driving and feeding their bellies and nourishing their bodies with delicious pizza and cake and yummy drinks. Take care of them as they move through this transition of this time with Paley's father engaged to another woman. Help them to become stronger as a team and build an alliance with one another so that they can become more attuned to each other's feelings and loving each other through it all. Thank you so much for Alicia and her ability to move herself into this new level of thinking, especially with her business. Allow her to make money that she can allow herself to pay herself, and also to feed them delicious food that will sustain and nourish them. Take care of her always, especially through this divorce, or through the courts of the child support letters and custody. Take care of that so that both parties involved can feel satisfied with the outcome. Thank you so much. I now turn the healing back to God and his angels. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Do you feel
working with me all these changes today?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, you're doing good though. I mean, the shifts that you're making are truly priceless. And the more that you take on these smaller, not smaller, it's more hidden things that are hiding from you, like the reliance on old stories, this desire to suffer, the feeling of unworthiness, paying others before yourself, this belief of change, then, and this fear of failure, you truly will start moving in a new direction. And you already have, and there's always just different levels of it, right? This is just another step that you got to take in your journey. Awesome. Okay, darling. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. It was good to have dinner with you.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
No, not at all. I mean, that's why we're mobile, right? That we can actually do it like this, and it works.
Yeah.
So, and I apologize I didn't record the beginning, but we have this part. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll send it later.
Okay, and
Awesome.
let me know when we should meet too for
Okay.
your site and everything.
I'll go ahead. I'll check my schedule and then message you.
Great.
Thank you, darling.
Thanks so much.
Talk
Good
to you
day.
soon. Tell Paley
Right.
bye-bye.
All right, Candace
Okay.
says bye, Paley. Bye-bye.
Bye.